Well, MentorSuccess is a program that we like to summarize in the name that creates success for children, helping one student at a time to be successful. A lot of times people say, what do you mean when you say success? Well, we're talking about success in life, but also in school, and to help them learn to interact better with other people. We also are emphasizing character traits that we feel lead to a successful life and other carefully selected success skills, such as decision-making, goal-setting, prioritizing, conflict resolution. The reason we emphasize those is because I've worked a lot over the years. Now I've been about 30, almost 40 years in mentoring. And whenever I work with adults, they always say, I wish I had learned this earlier. And so my saying became, well, why wait till it's too late? So I started doing research trying to find out, well, how soon can you teach people things like goal setting, decision making, prioritization? Found out it's actually very early on. A key word that we like to talk about is structure. We say that the MentorSuccess program is structured, it's customized, and it's focused. And what we mean by those words when we say structure, a lot of times people will tell me, well, I'd like to mentor a child or a student, but I'm not really sure what to do. So we've laid the program out, as we say, to be as easy as 1, 2, 3. We have a structured student folder where there's all the activities, questions, critical thinking questions are already laid out for the mentor. So you don't have to be a teacher, you just have to be somebody that cares to really be able to do a good job. So it's structured, and then when they come in, they've got the structure all set up. They can follow the little process, pretty simple with the student. But then within that, it's also customized to the interests of the student. We ask them, what do you like to do? One of the first activities with the mentor is they both sit down and go through what are our favorite hobbies, what are our interests, what do we want to learn about, and then we take award-winning literature that we've carefully selected that interest area for the student. So when the mentor comes in, they open it up, here's this literature that now the student is interested in, customized by the right reading level for the student so they're not frustrated. Got the questions to ask, and then the last thing we talk about is focused, because sometimes it's difficult to get children to focus on things. And this really focuses them because they're structured, they've got good questions, and the creativity questions especially really good because we train mentors to ask questions that are a little unexpected. If you had to rename this book, what would you rename it? If you had to add a character, what character would you like to add to the book? Because we really want the mentors not to be reading to the students, but with the students, and we want the students to really get involved and really get engaged in the literature.
We're starting young for several different reasons. A lot of studies have been done on young people and just on learning in general, that the earlier you start, the more effective the mentoring can be and the more effective the interaction can be from the student. By the time they get into high school and are older, they're pretty much set in their ways, and it's very difficult to begin to break old habits. And they're pretty much set in their ways as well. There was a young man, his name was David, and he was a very talented basketball player and unbelievable talent. And so one day I was in the classroom and he was looking out the window, and so I asked him, well, what's going on? What are you doing? And he said, I'm just thinking about the story that I was reading in this book. And so then you begin to interact with him a little bit as to about the story that he was reading, and you come to find out he wasn't able to read the story that he said he was reading. And so when you really look at that, you say, this is amazing. Here he is almost ready to graduate from high school with a world of opportunity ahead of him, and he's not going to be able to really take advantage of it because he doesn't have the skills, the comprehension, and the learning to be able to take advantage of his gifted and raw athletic ability. And that's why in mentoring, you want to start getting young people and students on the right track as early as possible. The younger you can reach them, you give them the opportunity to reach their full potential in life. We were able to step in and help David to a certain point, but had we gotten to David much earlier, we could have helped him much better in terms of his development in both the classroom and in life.
We have a tendency to forget that many of these children don't have people who have the time or will take the time to invest in their lives. And so we've seen some very tremendous interactions. I've had examples of young people that we started talking to them about, well, why you want to be successful in school. They had no idea. We said, well, you'll need to get a job. And we realized later that they had no one in their family, even their grandparents, that ever had a job. So here we were talking about jobs, and they had no idea what it was. And so we were able to bring mentors in that were able to give them an idea of a career, idea that it's not the only reason for education, obviously, but it's really changed the lives of people when they suddenly have a direction, have a role model in front of them, a caring adult who can give them some good ideas on how to be successful. It's really not that difficult a job. It really is just more of an intent, a desire to help somebody else. And if you can do that, I think most people can. This is a great way to really make a big investment in the life of a child. So we're real excited about that, create those opportunities.